I think he's taking steroids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. 100%. I'm willing to bet that. All the money that I have, I'd bet.
I've always had my suspicions, and I
The boxing world was shaken by explosive rumors claiming that Jake Paul tested positive for steroids just weeks before his massive showdown with Gervonta Davis, and if this turns out to be true, it could completely destroy the fight and possibly end Paul's boxing journey altogether. This was not meant to be another exhibition or viral spectacle, but rather the biggest moment of Jake's attempt to be taken seriously as a real boxer. And now that moment is hanging by a thread: the Davis versus Paul matchup was already surrounded by controversy long before the steroid talk surfaced, with a 195-pound catchweight and a YouTuber turned boxer stepping in against a feared knockout artist who usually competes at a much lower weight. Many fans were calling it a circus and a mismatch from the start, but this new allegation has taken things to another level, leaving everyone asking whether Jake was really trying to cheat the system, or if this is just another wave of internet chaos exploding before fight night even arrives.
First, but and for a very short time, obviously it's not too much you could do about it if a guy doesn't want to fight you. But my thing is, just handle the business right. That's all. Just handle the business right. Don't think you're gonna do bad business with me and think it's just gonna be okay. No, we're gonna call you out every single time. Don't duck a fight with me and fight a YouTuber that's 200 pounds and think it's okay. It's not okay. I don't care what, unless you took the proper, steps to do so. You could have told me that. You could have told me, all right, look, we're gonna take this Jake Paul fight, or your team could have reached out and be like, all right, look, we're gonna take this Jake Paul fight, and we'll circle back, or we won't. We just don't want to fight. It's cool, all right, but we're contracted to fight for a certain amount of purse and whatever the case may be. It's not. It don't work like that. You can't breach a contract.
With reports circulating that Jake Paul tested positive for steroids, the future of the fight has suddenly been thrown into uncertainty, and there is growing doubt that it will even move forward. This controversy has once again placed Jake under intense scrutiny, but it is far from a new accusation, as rumors about performance-enhancing drugs have followed him since the earliest days of his boxing career. Each time these claims resurface, they raise fresh questions about his credibility and add another layer of tension to every major fight he is involved in, making the situation even more volatile as fight night approaches.
You on performance-enhancing drugs?
If taking Viagra counts, then yes.
Back in 2021, when Jake Paul was knocking out former UFC fighters like Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren, critics were already questioning his sudden muscle growth and physical transformation. That suspicion only grew during his public feud with UFC President Dana White, who openly accused Jake of using steroids and challenged him to accept random drug testing while offering to drug test himself for years if Jake agreed. The moment went viral instantly, but Jake brushed it off and laughed, denying any wrongdoing, even though fans continued to speculate. Then in 2023, the controversy flared up again when MMA fighter Dillon Danis reignited the debate by posting photos of Jake alongside Logan Paul and KSI with a caption warning people not to use steroids, which once again fueled suspicion and kept the accusations alive around Jake's boxing career.
Tate says I do steroids.
I think he's on a bunch of steroids.
Yeah, so those aren't allowed in the sports that I do, boxing or WWE. So go yourself.
Can I?
He even pointed out the acne and hair loss, common steroid side effects, fueling conspiracy theories that Jake's physique wasn't natural.
Speaking of bumps,
Went right over it.
those little bumps you had on your face kind of alarmed me. You wouldn't be having to taking PEDs, are you?
Listen, if you want to build in excuses right now,
No, I'm just asking.
go ahead.
Because I was just wondering. I
Go
looked at
ahead.
your face. It looked kind of serious. You had some rage and you acting all unorthodox. Those are signs of the PEDs.
I'm enraged. I'm not enraged at all.
Are you taking PEDs?
No, sir.
Not at all. Okay.
No, sir.
That's
think
what
he's
I
on
feel like.
PEDs?
I don't care. You can be on horse tranquilizer steroids. You can get a whole new body from Walmart. You still getting
Fast forward to today, and the controversy has exploded again just before the biggest fight of Jake Paul's career, after reports surfaced early this morning claiming he allegedly failed a random drug test. Nothing has been officially confirmed, but that has not stopped fans from reacting harshly across social media, with accusations spreading instantly and many declaring him guilty before any final ruling. Some supporters of Gervonta Davis say this proves their doubts were justified, while critics flood comment sections with harsh labels and sarcasm. Even respected fighters like Shakur Stevenson and Lamont Roach Jr. had already described the matchup as a spectacle from the start, and now the latest rumors have only intensified the backlash and skepticism surrounding the fight.
What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fight?
Man, Tank, disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if he won't call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
Went took a circus show fight, and you know, he said he was gonna retire. I believe him.
Why do you say he's a circus show fight?
It's just for and giggles. Jake Paul is 200 pounds, and he's whatever he is. So.
Spoke to Roberto Diaz over in Florida, and I know he's part of your team. He was a little bit upset when all that news came out. He called it a duck. Would you call it a duck?
For sure. You can call it a spade, for sure. You know, if we're contracted to fight and you go and take another fight, you breach that contract, you go take another fight, that's a clear duck. I mean, obviously. So.
People are now saying they warned everyone because Jake Paul's physical transformation has always sparked suspicion. When he first entered boxing, he looked lean and fairly average in size, but by the time he was preparing to face Mike Tyson, he appeared dramatically bigger, more muscular, and far more defined, even prompting Mike Perry to joke about how unusual that kind of weight gain looks. Yet Jake seemed to anticipate this backlash earlier when he told TMZ Sports that he was under full random drug testing and claimed there was no excuse left for critics. He even threatened legal action against anyone spreading false accusations. Now, with rumors of a failed test circulating, fans are split between believing this is finally proof or dismissing it as another wave of online drama, adding even more tension to an already explosive situation.
Always love to make rumors up about me, but I do drug testing, the commission drug testing right before the fight, all these types of things.
They should focus on Canelo and his team, not on Jake Paul.
Yeah,
Jake Paul has been clean.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy that people that actually pop for this shit, they don't call them out. And then I'm over here looking like a doughboy. I got love handles, dog. That's after not eating for 3 weeks, basically. So if I was on that shit, it wasn't working.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
The matchup itself looks risky, with Jake Paul set to face Gervonta Davis on November 15th in Miami, and the size difference is staggering. Jake is 6'1" and normally around 195, while Tanks is only 5'5" and about 135, making a nearly 60-pound gap even with a catch weight, and that alone makes this fight extremely dangerous and unpredictable in the ring.
Is happening. WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, who's unbeaten in 31 professional contests, takes on the self-proclaimed problem child Jake Paul, one of the most influential and marketable global personalities. Paul and Davis square off in Miami after doubts around the fight being sanctioned in Georgia triggered a change in venue. Neither fighter can weigh more than 195 pounds. The weight is perhaps the most surprising factor. Paul has boxed most of his career around 200 pounds, the cruiserweight limit, but did tip the scales at 227 pounds when he faced off against Iron Mike Tyson last year. Davis, much smaller in stature, competes at the 135 pound mark and has also won world honours at super featherweight.
And despite some discussions about possibly dropping down to 10 ounces, the pair seems set to wear 12-ounce gloves.
And in terms of distance, despite the exhibition tag, the fight will play out over 10 3-minute rounds with 3 scoring judges at ringside, but the result will not be officially recorded on their professional record.
Fans were already mocking the fight, calling it nothing more than a money grab. And now if it turns out that Jake is using steroids, what was already a joke could cross the line into something serious and potentially criminal, raising even more questions about the integrity of the matchup and the sport itself.
Jake Paul versus Tank, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, everyone's talking about it. It's a whole thing. A lot of people liked it, didn't like it.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you first saw that it was a thing?
It pissed me the fuck off, bro.
Yeah, why?
It's just disappointing on mainly Jake's end. You know, we're not falling for the Disney Channel bit no more. We're not falling for you're not a fighter no more. We're not falling for that. You know, you're ranked as a cruiserweight and you're out here trying to fight a lightweight. And then on top of it, you were just talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. That doesn't make no sense. And, you know, I just felt like it was a disgrace to boxing and kind of
it was not a good move by Jake Paul. You know, I understand people saying, you know, Gervonta got to go get his money, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, like, we're not talking about that shit. We're talking about the sport, bro. We're not talking about, oh, you got to get that money, bro. Yeah, but everybody's open to criticism. That's the whole point of this media shit.
Right.
That's why they talk about basketball players. They don't talk about, well, LeBron's making too much. Like, nobody cares, bro. If LeBron's missing the shot, he's missing the fucking shot. So at the end of the day, bro, I just thought it was a disgrace to the sport. Because on one end, you know, you got the casuals, right? The casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're gonna think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter.
I think Tank never gave us the fights that we really wanted. Never really gave us those challenges. He never really challenged himself. He didn't give Rhodes that rematch, which he should have. You know, Mayweather did it when he had a hard time with Maidana and Castillo. Right away, he did the rematches to prove everybody wrong, and look at what he did. He beat him clearly. So Tank should have done the same. He didn't. That I could criticize. But then at the end also, if you're making 30 to 50 million, I don't even know what he's making to fight, to have an exhibition against just Jake Paul, I would have asked him. I would do the same.
Looking at the science for a moment, performance-enhancing drugs can give boxers an unfair edge by helping them build muscle faster, recover from training more quickly, and hit with more power, which is exactly why organizations like USADA and VA enforce strict rules, because even tiny traces of banned substances can lead to a fight being called off immediately and create serious consequences for everyone involved.
All right, I'm going to bring up the elephant in the room. Let's talk about PEDs. Because that's the reason why guys don't fight as often either. They've got to clear their systems from their ped use. So just to be honest, guys. So if you have a fighter who is using something or whatever, you're not going to see them fighting as often because it's a lot easier to get caught if you're not having that downtime to clear anything out of your system that's not supposed to be there. So let's be serious. I know we don't want to talk about the elephant in the room, but somebody's got to bring it up. Today it's me.
If Jake Paul's test really comes back positive, the fallout wouldn't just hit him, it would shake the entire event, with sponsors potentially backing out, licenses being suspended, and Gervonta Davis possibly walking away without even throwing a punch while still getting paid. And although the Florida State Boxing Commission hasn't released an official statement, insiders say both camps are digging into the testing results, which basically means everyone involved is scrambling and panicking behind the scenes.
Taking steroids, yeah. I do 100%. I'm willing to bet that. All the money that I have, I'd bet.
I've always had my suspicions, and
and then, dude, I'm not even sitting here being like, fuck him for that at all. This doesn't make that clear.
Okay. I mean, but in combat sports,
what do you think? Do you think he is or he isn't?
I think he has for sure, but I don't know if he is currently.
Why would he not? Why would he not? If you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's looking in the mirror. He's in his bathroom, and he's like. He's like, Dylan, I'm gonna kill this kid. He's like injecting his because he's like, I gotta protect Nina.
Yeah, facts,
you know?
facts. And he did. Fair play to him. He did. Listen.
And he's like,
for all the criticisms,
he's looking a little more angular in the face.
The thing I've always thought is like, how do you get bigger and then lean out as you get bigger? I don't know that I'm not.
How do you get bigger and then lean out as you get bigger?
Like, it's usually a process of getting bigger, leaning. He's leaning
now
out
you're onto
as
it.
He's
now you're. See, that's exactly what I'm talking.
Meanwhile, Jake Paul's team is flat out denying the claims, with a source close to him telling ESPN that he hasn't tested positive for anything and calling the reports fake news spread by trolls and haters trying to get in his head before the fight. But the problem is, this has been his go-to defense for years. Every time a new accusation comes up, he calls it a conspiracy, and while some of the chatter has been pure speculation, it still adds to the controversy and tension surrounding the matchup.
These days,
I'm heavy, big boy, 230s.
Damn. All right.
I'm a natural born heavyweight. This is what I was born to do, is to move up into this weight class, and I'm going to show Mike who has the more power, because he's underestimating me. I think everyone else is underestimating me, and I believe that
This situation feels different because it's no longer just internet trolls talking. There are credible whispers coming from journalists, insiders, and even rival camps, with one promoter telling Fight Hype that if the test results hold, the fight could be cancelled because the commission wouldn't approve it given the weight difference and the steroid talk, which means Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul might be over before it even starts. But even before the rumors, this fight was always built for spectacle. Gervonta Davis is a generational talent and one of the hardest hitters pound for pound, while Jake Paul is a YouTuber turned boxer who has been taking on faded MMA stars and semi-retired fighters. And fans understand this matchup isn't about proving who is the better boxer, it's about whose brand is bigger. And with Netflix behind-the-scenes documentaries filming and global pay-per-view deals already signed, promoters have too Much at stake to let it fall through, which is why, despite the steroid rumors, they'll do everything they can to keep the fight on track and control the narrative.
You'll probably start hearing phrases like inconclusive results or supplement contamination. That's the PR playbook. Because when that much money's on the line, nobody wants the show to stop.
If you're really not happy with Tank, first off, don't watch Tank. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You support it, then what you doing? You can't not support and support at the same time, right? So if you're a boxing purist, then this fight with Roach is really more for you. It's going to be more up your alley, you know? If you just like all entertainment, all fights, all hypes, all everything, then you're going to want to tune in to the Tank and Paul's show there, you know, because that's all for entertainment. What's it? For entertainment purposes only, right? It's just say like somewhere in the small print of the promotion. For entertainment, don't do this at home, kids. You know, sometimes
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. For entertainment purposes only. You know, so you know, it's money-making purposes only. You know, it is what it is, people.
If we're being honest, it's not unreasonable to ask whether Jake Paul is using steroids. Just looking at his track record, he's packed on noticeable muscle over the past 5 years. He seems to recover faster than most natural athletes, and whenever someone challenges him to long-term testing, he avoids it. Even Dana White's offer of 2 years of random steroid tests was never accepted, and while he claims to be tested by Veda fans, haven't seen a single official report, no screenshots, no paperwork. Nothing. In contrast, fighters like Crawford, Canelo, or Usyk have their Veda results publicly available, while Jake's are always private, and that raises questions about whether he's taking advantage of the business side of boxing, where promoters control testing and celebrities sometimes get special treatment. And beyond the drugs, it's also about maintaining a certain image that fuels his brand. Expect to start hearing terms like inconclusive results or supplement contamination, because that's exactly how the PR playbook works. When so much money is at stake, nobody wants the fight to be cancelled, and every angle will be spun to keep the show going and protect the event's big payday.
Jake Paul as a marketer, promoter, but as a prize fighter, I don't, because I've been around the game of boxing for over 20 years. If you're calling yourself a professional boxer, stop fighting people that are 50 years old. Bro, he's fighting the retired MMA fighters, you know, the UFC fighters that are like 40 and 50.
You know why? Because you could fix those fights and it's not illegal.
Jake Paul's rise has always been about proving doubters wrong. When the world laughed at him for stepping into the ring, he went out and knocked out Ben Askren in just 1 round. When critics claimed he could never beat a real boxer, he took down Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and even after losing to Tommy Fury, he bounced back stronger, beat Mike Perry, and showed he could outbox legends like Mike Tyson, which is why, if these steroid allegations turn out to be true, everything he's worked for could collapse. In an instant, all those wins and all that hard-earned credibility wiped away, because in boxing your reputation is everything, and once people believe you're cheating, there's no coming back.
Maybe he'll fight Jake Paul instead. What do you think of that?
I think that's terrible.
Why?
I mean, I get it, because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money, but from what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me, and if that's the case, why not fight me?
Sure. Do you think he beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
there's a huge size advantage, though.
It is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure he come out on top.
Do you think that Jake has gone better?
Yeah, I think actually Jake got tremendously better from the time frame that he started till now. And in the right situation, I also could see him become a world champion.
Really?
Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis has stayed mostly quiet, choosing not to get caught up in the drama and focusing on training hard, while Jake Paul seems to be unraveling in public, which leaves fans wondering, is Jake really using steroids, or is this just another PR stunt to hype ticket sales? And if the allegations are true, should Gervonta even step in the ring or just walk away to protect his record? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Fight Field. For all the latest boxing updates, I'll see you in the next video.